I mean, it's kind of odd to even be seeing this happening right now because Tekken 8 started on such a high note. And I still think it's a solid game. I mean, I'll get to at least it started on a great foot. Unlike another game, I'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, I mean, I still think it's a solid game. I don't know. I'm not sure. So for one thing, I want to start with they did make some changes, like the ground bounce or the ground break thing was apparently supposed to be a fix for like double gen. They were supposed to be fixing something that he had, like something that was kind of abusable, something that was kind of not quite broken, but it was like okay, kind of people kept doing it too much, right? So they just nerfed it all across the board, which usually is probably how you would like to have a nerf. Like if there's something that one character's doing, you nerf it across the board. So at that point, it's technically fair because nobody can do it. But in this case, I've heard some people say that just nerfing Devil Jin's usage of the ground break would be better than just nerfing the way they did. But yeah, man, I've seen some wild stuff, man. Like the whole wall the wall combos being kind of odd now. The thing with the rage arts being able to move in like the freeze frame animation when you start up the move, like being able to avoid that's kind of weird. So I don't know what happened. This patch is actually very similar to Dragon Ball Fight. It's not as bad, but it's like in the same vein of like it's some very odd stuff going on here. And I mean, releasing Eddie, I've heard maybe mixed things about him if he's good or not. I really hadn't seen too much. I haven't played him yet myself because I didn't get to the deluxe version of the game. I just got the regular game. But I don't know, man. I hope that they can fix this and get this under control. And I think they will, because I will say one thing about this. Any issues that they had with the game when the game first came out, Harada was very vocal about it. Every time somebody had an issue, he was tweeting about it. Hey, we got to fix. When they had an issue of something, he was like, we got to fix right now. So I think with Harada being at the helm and he's being so responsive, I think whatever happened with this patch, I think in maybe a few weeks or so they'll get this addressed and hopefully the game will be back in its proper state. Because right now it does look a little wonky. I haven't played Eddie yet. Like I said, I don't have the deluxe edition, but I want to talk about the battle pass. I mean,
Yeah,
I just
Eddie got those optimal bread and butter combos. There's just one button over and over again. X X X X with a different direction. X X X X X.
yeah, I've seen that too. And I was watching a guy that I follow on Twitter. I follow on YouTube. His name Indie Soul. He was actually practicing with Eddie, and he was talking about that character reminded him of what's it, Josie from Tekken 7. I didn't really play her, but apparently she had some stuff like that. Like her inputs was just like one button. And I mean, also this kind of I guess that's kind of a thing they're doing because Victor also has some of that. Like if you see Victor just doing like knife swipes into gun, it's just like triangle, 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 just two, just person two. Um, but the battle pass. I don't know what's going on with these fighting games and thinking that we got to add stuff from battle royales. Excuse me. Every game does not need a battle pass. Street Fighter 6 battle pass, fight pass is terrible. And it's crazy because you get a free version, right? So you think, okay, if I get the free version of the pass, then the paid version will be better. Nope. Street Fighter 6, that pass was just like some of the most useless stuff. Like, just why did you even waste time with this? Same thing with Tekken 7. I've seen like the stuff that the content you can get. I'm like, this is a waste of money. Why? There's nothing good here. There's nothing that warrants like me wanting to get this battle pass, especially getting the premium version. Now, my thing is, if they did something like, let's say, soundtracks are unlockable. But I mean, you have all of the soundtracks from every Tekken in the game except for like the intro themes. So you can't do that. Let's say you put stages or something you unlock. Like let's say you had like old school stages. Somehow they can make like the old stages in the current game. Something similar to like Metal Gear Solid 4. If you all remember, like you could have like his PS1 face in like the PS3 game. But they did something like that, but like just like these weird cosmetic items. I was watching Lotus Asakura, I think is his name, YouTuber. He plays Tekken. He was going over the pass, and it's like you get like a blank sphere. Like And he said it looked like you made it in Blender, just a blank white sphere. Like there's nothing on it, just a ball. Like, what is this? Like, and it's a premium item, not like a free item. It's a premium item. So I'm just like, I hope this trend of fighter pass esque stuff, this like live service style thing for fighting games, I kind of hope it goes away. Or if we at least do it, we actually put more thought into it, because what we've seen so far is just not great at all. Not great at all. Like giving people just the most bare bone things, and you want them to pay for like a premium edition. I just think that's it's unnecessary, man. I just don't think it's needed in a fighting game, and especially something you've already paid $70 for. And if you bought the deluxe edition or ultimate edition, you spent like $110+ on the game. So why now is there a battle pass that I also got to pay money for? It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, we've even saw Street Fighter 6 doing the not even costumes that you could use like on your characters in the game, just cosmetics from the world tour mode, $16-15 for like a Ninja Turtle skin. Like, come on, man. Like, we I promise this out of this whole thing that's going on right now, I hope this is what stops in fighting games. We gotta either stop it completely or we gotta change it, because right now it's just not looking good. But I hope that somehow Namco and Harada, they can get this thing under wraps, because it's not looking the greatest right now for Tekken. Like I said, I think it's a solid game. Just whatever they did with this patch just messed it up for the moment, and hopefully it gets fixed. Because if it doesn't, But like I said when I first started, I said at least it started out the gate pretty solid. Unlike another game that started bad and it's been continually, being bad. So
Yeah, Devin, listening to your take, I'm glad you went first because you can help me kind of change the direction I want to come from, and I was kind of going to come from a more so like, man, so and so and so, but I've had a change of heart on it, so I appreciate you going first. You know, Tekken 8 had a fantastic honeymoon. I mean, everybody was making it seem like this game was the best thing since sliced bread. It just seemed like it was just it just seemed like the game could do no wrong. And then next thing you know, like you started seeing like some pro players coming out and saying like, I don't really. And then slowly, like you started seeing a little bit more people coming out saying they ain't like this and like they ain't like that. Then you started hearing people talking about the DLC. Then you started hearing people talk about the battle pass. Then you started hearing people talk about like the game. So it's like slowly this game has started to like, in the phase after the honeymoon phase has really started to like kind of dwindle, because it was at a point to where people talking about Tekken 8 so highly. I was surprised that Street Fighter was still beating it out in some stuff. I was like, man, the way people talking about Tekken 8, I think everybody named Mama be on the game. I mean, you got like big streamers and stuff like that aren't really known for fighting games talking about Tekken 8, and them playing it. So it just seemed like it was just doing fantastic. So to get to here is like, man, the turnaround is quick, but it's like, I guess you can expect that nowadays with fighting games. It's not like, every game has their time where it's just like people are kind of down on it and wish it could kind of be something else, even whether it's a good game or not. But with Tekken 8, it is still kind of a little surprising. But when they released this, I'll just start with the patch. When they released this patch and then it came out, all this stuff was wrong. It was horrible timing because you got EVO Japan coming up in 3 weeks, and people are trying to go and basically, you could say, arguably the third biggest, Tekken tournament of the year. You know, and they got this coming out now, and it's basically like this is kind of like a thing. If you got to play Tekken 8 at this state at EVO Japan, I mean, you might have to just put a little asterisk on who win, because it's kind of crazy right now. Like this is not tournament viable, like type of stuff that you're seeing like going on. So then when you get to the battle pass, like that was the one I was kind of like gonna go in on, but I mean, at the end of the day, I just saw a video Harada was getting interviewed by a guy from PlayStation, and he was talking about, when it comes to fighting games, you only expect them to sell for like 6 months to like 2 years, 2 years if you lucky. they sell. So it's like what we planning on doing with Tekken 7. We planning on releasing it in arcades. It be in arcades for 2 years. Then you port it to consoles. You get a little bit more out of it. Then we gonna do a season 1. If season 1 goes good, then we'll do season 2. But we had no plans for a season 3. We wanted to stop supporting Tekken 7 like 4 years ago. But the game people just kept buying it. People just kept buying it. So the upper brass was just like, we just go keep supporting it. If y'all go keep buying it, y'all keep paying full price for stuff gladly. So it's like, let's just keep this going. So they might have just brought that into like that thinking in the Tekken 8 of just like, hey, we've had success so far with stuff we putting out. They enjoy it, they buy. Let's test the waters with this battle pass. Let's like test the waters of just putting out like certain stuff. Like you can get it if you want. It's for a limited time. Just if you want it, let's just see what happens. And it came out and it just didn't hit. Like it's just stuff in it that people don't deem as worthy. It's like this is stuff that just should have been in the game originally. I paid $70 for it. Some people didn't pay like $100 and some bucks for it. I got a deluxe edition. I paid $100 and some for, and I'm not getting the stuff that's in this battle pass. I mean, they swung and they missed. They tried, they missed. If they come back and they get it right, this will be kind of like just a little footnote in Tekken 8's history in the long run. So let's just see if they get it right. But yeah, and what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? People are also talking about, and I had like some reviews that people had here that they was like, that they were really what people are saying that they're really upset with the game. Some people saying like there's no punishment for rage quitting, there's no rewards for ranked, taking items which were in the previous game and asking me to pay for it. Customization is not up to the standard that fans want. Waited until all reviews were out to announce Tekken Shop. The character episode endings are not up to standard to previous titles. So, just people have just their random things, but most of that stuff is stuff that's just happening now. Greedy executive decisions aside, the game is still good, but it still has its problems. 2 months after launch, Bandai Namco decided to add an item shop with purchases being made with real cash and premium battle pass, all purchased separately from the already expensive $30 season pass and a $70 game without any pre-launch roadmap and stuff. So people just feel like you just throwing a bunch of stuff at me. Like I don't know what's going on or what's happening. It seemed like it's just weird stuff after weird stuff. Blase. So I think they just saw the success of Tekken 7 and they just kind of like just started like, you just got to test the waters, like see what we can do with Tekken 8. And then, Harada has talked about like, if y'all want like these bigger events, you want prize pools and stuff like that, you're gonna have to, start paying like for stuff. We need more money. And with him already saying like you gotta come into a fighting game thinking it's only gonna sell for like 6 months to like maybe 2 years. So somewhere in that time frame. And after that, you kind of only really supply like going off season passes and stuff like that for your money. Maybe they want to do more and stuff like that, and it's just like they kind of gotta like give you stuff to buy but I think they probably should have waited. I mean, if I'd already spent $100 and some on the deluxe and the game just came out in January and it's
Yep.
just April, you could have like I mean, you already throwing at something else others for the buy. I mean, people who really want to like spend and help the game will do it, but it's like, come on, you gotta make it worth their while. Like, come on, like if you gonna do it this early, make it worth their while. Like paying $110 and it ain't even 3 months into the game, it could have been some stuff you just released to at least people that got deluxe edition. You could have gave it to like deluxe edition people, at least for like a discount or something. But yeah, I mean, just hopefully it can be something that they can bounce back from. Harada has been doing Tekken all these years. I mean, I'm sure he'll figure it out. He's no rookie in the game. So, hopefully all this stuff will just get figured out. And hopefully all the stuff with the pluggers and stuff will get figured out too. Because, people are really, really upset about that. Just people can just rage quit and do whatever in the game and there's no consequence. So we'll see. But you got something else you want to add, Mr. Gamer?
I just want to say real quick. I think honestly, I think his battle pass was an afterthought. It's so poorly put together. I really think they saw Street Fighter 6 is like, oh, we're gonna do that too. I like there's to me it's just no way like even with Street Fighter 6 it would just it seemed like an afterthought. It was like, hey, you know, it would be cool. Let's put a fighter pass in here. Let's try this out. And this like the stuff in there is like worthless. And I guess like they kind of try to make it worth their while because you can actually earn like enough coins back in the battle pass that will like pay for the battle pass technically. But it's like, bro, this ain't Fortnite. This is not Fortnite. Like Fortnite's a free game that's making money hand over fist. Like so they use a battle pass, but it's a free game. There's no what's the word? There's no commitment to it. You just download the game and play. And if you choose to buy something, you buy it. If you don't, you don't. This is the same here, but it's like I've already paid for the game. You know, like I said, when I saw there was a white sphere, just a ball, nothing on it. That's an item in the premium pass. I'm like, what? Like what is this?
And then another thing that's shiesty about the pass is a lot with some stuff you need 600 coins to pay for it, but then it's like they give you an option to spend $6 for five. Like I think what is it like $6 for 500 coins? So it's like I gotta go and I gotta buy double it just about this one thing. It's like so I gotta spend $12 to spend $6.
Yep.
You know, come on.
And that's like I said earlier, they gotta stop. They have to stop trying to implement these practices that don't work. You don't need live service. If it's a free play game, fighting game, okay, maybe I can accept it. If 2XKO got something like this and it's gonna be free to play, hey, it is what it is. It's free to play. You don't have to do it, but like you bought the game. And that's another practice. That's the same thing in Fortnite. Like if you spend like coin, they always do like if you spend more, they'll give you like a premium. You get like an extra 100 or 200. It's like, bro, this really like, but why can't I just buy the amount that I need? That's a practice that's like it's so like shady. It's so like what? Just let me if I want to buy this, it costs 300 coins. Just let me get 300 coins instead of being like, no, you have to get 600 coins for the thing that you want. It's on the 300. So it's like, okay, I just think it was an afterthought. It's just too poorly put together. When I first heard about it, it's like maybe they have some cool stuff in here, but it's just not worth it. Like I said, they could have just did away with jukebox and just put the songs in the game. Even unlockable games, you could have made like, hey, you gonna unlock Tekken 2 midway through the battle pass. You gonna unlock Tekken 3. That would be worth it. If I'm paying for the battle pass, let me unlock the older games. You put like maybe Tekken 1, 2, and 3 in the first battle pass. Second battle pass, you maybe put Tekken 4 or 5, something like that. You know, just give me something. Like, I don't know, man. That's a practice I wish for fighting games that will stop immediately. Y'all please stop it. I get y'all need to make money, but if you're not gonna give anybody anything worthwhile, they're not gonna spend their money on it.
Yeah. But hopefully they'll figure it out. Hopefully they'll right the ship. They had a great honeymoon phase, and it seems like people are kind of just. I mean, it's getting to a point. People leaving reviews and saying, "Look, don't buy this game until like you start hearing like they patched it and it's better, and you ain't gotta like they ain't trying to basically check your pockets real quick. Like, what you got in there? Don't you want this? Come on, man, give me a little something.
That
So
is that was my biggest criticism of the game initially. The customization was kind of whack. Like the options that they give you was so bare bones. But still, you could. I mean, as we saw, as the internet showed, you could still customize some pretty accurate characters from a multitude of IPs, even with the bare minimum that they have. But it's still just like there's even stuff like you can't put like certain hairstyles with caps. Like you can't put like certain shoes with certain pants. It's like what? Like I can't wear these shoes with this pants. Like no, you have to remove this whole bottom set. It's like stuff like that was a little wonky. But I said I'll be hopeful that maybe they'll add some stuff into it. They'll give us a lot more. But I don't know, the stuff I've seen they're giving us, it just looks garbage. You know.
all right, Ben. It seemed like with a lot of the things that you touch, after a while it start going bad, or like you just start patching stuff and it's going bad. I don't really want to say I know the history of Bandai Namco and all the stuff that they touch. That'd be a lie, but just recently, when it come to like the FGC, you're fumbling a little bit. Let's get it back together.